What's up, everybody? Alright, on this tutorial we are going to teach you how to DD, which is damage dealer or damage dealing, okay, depending on how you're using it. Okay, so just to let you know off the bat, I am on a private server, and this one you can max out a lot of crazy stats and stuff, so you can do a lot of damage on here. And for this example, we're going to be using the test dummy, because most bosses aren't going to be able to handle all the hits that we're about to throw at it. And so here we go. Now you always had better have your blessing up here. You can get them free, your Jones blessing or your O'Malley's blessing, or whichever one you want. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing because it's just a test and stuff, and I'm just teaching you guys. And another thing you need to know is every ranged weapon for archers has a minimum effective range. If you look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th line down, it'll say a minimum effective range 5.00. Okay, now what that means, that's 5 meters. So if you look right now, during my regular attacks, I'm only doing 250 to 400,000, or sorry, 250 to 500,000 damage, right? So some people think that you have to be the furthest away to do the maximum damage. You do not. This proves it right here. This is what's considered 5 meters on this game. Okay, so it's doing 500,000 to 1 million damage each hit now. You see what I'm saying? So if you go even further out, max range, it's still doing the same thing, 500 to 200,000. So don't. There's a lot of people who don't understand that about archers, and they think that the further you are, the more damage you do. It's not. All right. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. That's a common misconception. All right, here we go. To the biggest skills that you need to do first. All right, and I see a lot of archers don't do this as their first hit, which is Riri, in my opinion. Okay, so this dummy has 1 billion hit points, just shy of 1 billion hit points. And Blood Vow and Sharp Tooth Arrow, if you look underneath where it says how much, it'll say reducing their maximum health by 16%. Sage version reduces the maximum health by 20%. All right. Demon, I think, does it by 18%. I'm not sure. Don't hold me on that one. This is a Sage Archer, just in case I didn't say that earlier. And I'll tell you later on why I choose Sage Archers. But you can see Blood Vow does a similar thing where it reduces the maximum health by 18%. Now remember, it reduces their maximum health. If you look at this line here, this is their maximum health, not their current health. Okay, that's important because you're gonna see something in a second. Now, when I go hit Sharp Tooth Arrow on this thing, 20% of 1 billion is going to be 200 million, right? So I'll show you. All right, now you see the debuff right here. That's the maximum hit points decrease. Other tunes have a skill that does decrease maximum hit points too, so don't be confused. But archers do the maximum amount of decrease. All right. So a lot of people don't realize how great it is to have an archer in your squad. If you're doing a big boss that has a huge amount of hit points, and they automatically take out 1/5 of their hit points with one skill, that's fast. All right. So there you go. You see how it dropped down? So this dropped from 1 billion to 800 million, and then it went back up after the time is done, after the debuff wore off, right? And so what you're left with is the remainder of the 800 million hit points. And so it dropped this hit points because of the fact that this dropped. Now that we're below it, now that we're below the 20%, if I were to hit this now, you'll see it doesn't drop. Like the maximum is well, it's not showing it here. Oh yeah, it is. Sorry. So it's at 800,000 here, and you'll see that this is the little bit of damage that I've already done from just doing the regular attacks, and so it's not going to reduce this anymore from that debuff. Now, as a skill, it does do some damage, but you know, in the 1 million damage or whatever range. Okay, so hitting this sharp-toothed arrow or blood vow later on to try to reduce that maximum hit points isn't going to do crap as far as that debuff is concerned. Okay, so just want to let you know, if you see archers doing it, you'll see which are the ones that don't know what they're doing, because they won't hit that first. I always hit those first. Okay, now to do maximum damage on these dummies, if you looked on my macro skills list, there's all these macros that I've got set up here. You'll see how to set them up yourself. So if you just want to build up chi, I'll use my number 2 macro. So let's say, you know, you're low on chi and you just want to get it up so you can get your 3 sparks or whatever and stuff, right? This one, none of these skills here will use any chi to use, but they will all build you chi, alright? And one of the biggest chi builders is quick shot. So if you can just hit that as much as you can, that'll help you build chi really fast, alright? And then number 3 skill, or sorry, the number 3 macro, this one will do every skill that you see on here. The damage is not reduced when you're up close and personal. So when you're tanking a boss that runs up to you, this is the one you want. If you're not tanking a boss that runs up to you, you'll use macro number 2. And I can show you real quick what those macros are, but I have another video on it, so you can just get it from that. Alright, so number 2 is that one. You guys can take a screenshot or whatever. Number 3 is that one. And then number 4, oh sorry, is that one. Okay, so that's real quick. Like I said, I have another video explaining everything about that. Alright, so what you'll know about number 3 macro, it'll use this quick shot, wing strike, wing burst, which I don't recommend upgrading these to the single skill. I guess that does work good for PvP, but for me, I usually just play PvE 99% of the time, so I prefer to have these skills. And I'll use this one, and this one, and then cycle back to this. Okay, now what you need to know is all these skills do not reduce damage when you're up close and personal with the target. Alright, this one does, but it helps you build chi, which this one uses a lot of, so you need to have something that builds chi on it. Alright, so this is why I use that one. Alright, I'm trying to go fast because I don't want a boring video. I want to be thorough in my explanations and stuff like that. Now, when you're trying to do maximum damage, let's say to like a boss, or even to a person or whatever, a PvP, what you want to start out with is, let me see if I can remember my macros right. Okay, so the reason why I choose Sage Archer, alright, is right here, Storm Rage Eaglon. Sage Storm Rage Eaglon, if you look at the very bottom line, it says that the Sage version also reduces the target's physical and magic defense by 50%. That's huge. Okay, that's for 15 seconds too. So that stacks up with your blood vow. Okay, so that one reduces it by 25%, lasts 30 seconds, but this one reduces their physical and magic defense by 50% and lasts 15 seconds. Demon one doesn't do that. And if you are on the server that I currently play on and they do molten mines, all the bosses in there are affected by Sage Storm Rage Eaglon, but some of them are immune to blood vow. So being a Sage Archer in there helps a lot. Okay, so this is what we do. So to do maximum damage, you want to start off with blood vow, Storm Rage Eaglon. Alright, and that's going to take all your sparks away almost. Now you do your awaken, triple spark, and then you do your macros, right? And then you hit your Tingly Mire, extreme poison. Now look at that, 2.8 million, 3 million, 2.7 million. We're doing a lot of damage to this thing. And let me talk to you a little about Tingly Mire. Tingly Mire, it reduces the movement speed, blah blah blah, and physical defense by 35%. So the first skills on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, those 4 will be affected most by Tangling Mire, which these ones won't be as effective. Extreme Poison will increase the damage by 20%. Alright? That the target receives. So look at that. Just by doing all those, I already reduced its hit points to 707 million. Alright? That's just him now. Because of that, you also get another spark. And then you go again. You're hitting good numbers. You don't have the blood vow on there, so you're not hitting up in the 3 millions, but you're hitting up in 2 millions. And like I said, on your server, depending on where you're at and what you've got on your damage can be different, but you can see the increase in damage, right? Compared to what a regular attack would do or whatever and stuff. So alright, so when I get back, I'm going to let the Awaken skill cool down, and I'll show you how to do it in fluid motion. Alright, right, I'm back, and now we've got Awaken fully cooled down, and now I'm going to show you how to do it fluently without talking through and stuff like that. Alright, you guys know what to do. Also, make sure you have your buffs on. Wings of Protection isn't necessary for DDing, but you just want to have it on anyways. Alright, so, and I'm going to show you the tanking macro. Okay, so what we're going to do, now here's also another trick too. You want to stay on spark. Build chi back up. So SOS message. My patented SOS attack method. Stay on spark. So if you can, just try to stay on spark as much as you can, and you'll be doing the maximum amount of damage. And this one's almost already down 300 million just from that short period of time. So I see, keep them coming, keep everything coming. And see, sometimes I know that at both those will be cooled down in a second, so I will wait until I can get my third spark up. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There you go. See? Stay on spark. Already 300 million has been taken from the dummy. So, alright, I'm going to conclude this one. Hope you guys got something out of this tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you did, or if you didn't, or if you got suggestions, or maybe if you got a macro or a combo that you guys like. Alright, So we'll see you back in game. Peace.